You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I'm back. Rodrance for Black and White Sports. Wow, here we go. We're just talking about simply a husband of a Senate candidate that happens to be Republican that has gotten a cease and desist letter because her husband wore a Seahawks jersey in an ad. By the way, the Seahawks once honored the very husband we're talking about here. This is repulsive, but should it surprise us that the Seattle Seahawks, particularly in that radically left area, would disrespect a member of the military service like this? No, it doesn't surprise me in this day and time. Actually, it does not. Let's get to this. Post-millennial. Seahawks threaten GOP Senate candidate with a lawsuit after her husband wears jersey in ad. They once honored his service. This is crazy. There's the husband. There's the wife. And, of course, there's the Seahawks socialist logo. Instead of focusing on their troubles on the field, the Seahawks, 1-2, I actually think they're 2-2 now, have decided to turn their resources on Washington Republican Senate candidate Tiffany Smiley and her husband Scott, a U.S. Army veteran who was blinded in a terrorist attack in Iraq, whom the NFL franchise had previously honored in a game. Wow, a wounded veteran that has lost his sight. And this is what the Seattle Seahawks have decided to do, is play politics. The Seattle Seahawks sent a cease and desist letter regarding Smiley's, quote, game day commercial, demanding the campaign, quote, immediately cease its unauthorized commercial use of their copyrighted material. Wow. And, of course, there he is right there. He's got the Seahawks jersey on. In the game day spot, let me see. Let's play this.
Game day sure has changed. Joe Biden and Patty Murray are working overtime to make everything more expensive, and working families are feeling the squeeze. Hot dogs up 26%, eggs almost 40%, even beer.
Are you kidding me?
That's why in the Senate I will oppose the wasteful spending that brought us this inflation.
That's great,
to help
actually.
Bring prices down.
It's fantastic.
So Washington families can get...
Are you kidding me? That's actually a really good ad, to be honest with you. Okay, so that was the campaign ad. And, of course, she's Republican. She's dogging out Joe Biden. So, of course, this becomes an issue for the Seattle Seahawks. Because I'm going to show you that they have supported, at least in the fact that they haven't said anything, somebody that happens to be a Democrat. It's funny how that works out. Smiley is in the kitchen preparing to watch a football game and slams her Democratic opponent, 30-year incumbent Patty Murray, and her party for spiking the cost of food. 5 days earlier, the Smiley campaign received an email from the Seahawks claiming a trademark violation. The ad briefly showed Smiley's husband, Scotty, a retired U.S. Army Ranger, so a hero, in other words, who was blinded by shrapnel in Iraq, saying, quote, that even beer prices are increasing. According to the Wall Street Journal, in the commercial, you only see his shoulders above a tall couch, and if you get a magnifying glass, you might make out a letter or two from the word Seahawks. Hey, Seahawks, you guys honored Scott Smiley in 2014. Now you're mad about him wearing a Seahawks jersey in a campaign because his wife is running as a Republican. That's all it is to it. That is all there is to it. There he is right here. Let's look at this. Where the Seahawks have actually... There they are. There's the Seahawks logo. That's him. That's him. They previously honored this guy. And now they got a problem because they find out he's what? Republican? Wow. Scott Smiley was even honored by the NFL franchise in 2014 by hosting the 12th-man flag at a Seahawks game against the New York Giants. Smiley's campaign told journalist Brandy Cruz that Scott was given the jersey seen in the ad as a gift from the team when he raised the flag. Okay, so there he is wearing the jersey underneath his Army fatigues. The campaign made a small adjustment to the game day ad by removing certain items and colors on the jersey. So they took the green off, basically, and any potential logo you might see. Tiffany Smiley is a former triage nurse who fought for her husband to remain on active service in the military after he was blinded from combat. My God. Oh, here we go. She also championed additional VA reforms that were signed into law by President Donald Trump. My God. Scott Smiley ended up becoming the U.S. Army's first blind active duty officer. The Journal noted that the Seahawks letter about Scott's jersey, quote, nothing like supporting local sports franchises by dumping a cease and desist orders on wounded veterans. Christine Hemphill, campaign manager for Smiley for Washington, said in a statement, woke corporations thought they would help Patty Murray by bullying Tiffany with senseless legal threats. Their efforts have both failed and backfired. This campaign will continue to hold account the failures of a 3-decade incumbent and offer Washingtonians a path from crisis to hope, just as Tiffany did for Scotty with countless other veterans. The saga with the Seahawks came on the heels of Starbucks and the Seattle Times sending a similar cease and desist letter claiming unauthorized use of their logos and content in another Smiley Washington campaign spot called A Cup of Coffee. Wow. Unbelievable. In response to the Seattle Times claim, Smiley for the Washington campaign filed a complaint with the Federal Elections Commission accusing the outlet of a prohibited corporate in-kind contribution to Patty Murray's campaign, since the Times had previously allowed Murray, whom they have endorsed, to use their logo and content without a license during the 2016 re-election campaign. Imagine that. Imagine that. Let's take a look at this right here. So how do you explain from a Democratic candidate's campaign page at Tara Simmons 5 has done awesome things with her life, but so has the Smiley family. Are you a football team or a political organization? And re-elect Tara Simmons said, hanging out with the Seahawks today, got their overwhelming support for my work in advance racial and social justice. It was the validation I needed when my opponent has turned negative into desperation and spreads fake news. Let's see. Do you have Seahawks? Yep, there's Seahawks logo right there in plain sight. There's the Seahawks right there in blatant plain sight, making a political statement that they are just fine with as long as that political statement is not pro-Republican. Imagine that. Typically, the individual companies do not directly help or target candidates. Instead, donate to political action committees and have them do the dirty work. Yeah, we know it always goes through a PAC. And this is the current race in radically left Washington state. 48% for Murray's campaign, 46.5% for Smiley's. So this thing, much like that Oregon governor race, this thing is a lot closer than the Democrats want it to be. By the way, as a side note, Chuck Schumer has donated to Murray's campaign. They're worried right now. They're worried, and the Seahawks are worried on their behalf. This is a disgustingly blatant and obvious political move from an NFL franchise that is disrespecting our military, the guys that got wounded, lost his eyesight on behalf of the country that the Seattle Seahawks get to play football in, free, with nobody, in theory, causing them harm. Although in Seattle, with that mayor and their political affiliations, yeah, you're subject to have to keep your head on a swivel because of the violence up there. This is unbelievable. It's appalling that this is where we are as a country right now. Look, they're fine. They actually are fine. They are on pictures, taking pictures with a Democratic candidate, Seahawks logos everywhere. As long as it's for social justice, And for the sake of wokeness, we are just good with that. Army veteran, go F yourself. That's what the Seahawks are saying right now. Wow. Roger Goodell, your league is tougher and tougher to watch by the second. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.